Did you know that one of the best ways to reduce stress is to exercise and to move your body? Well, it turns out that, as you know, stress is damaging if it's in high amounts, and being able to cope with stress is absolutely vital. It spans a wide range of emotional responses, and chronic stress can lead to, emotional strain turning into physical problems. Severe stress triggers the fight or flight response, which sends resources to the body and brain to mobilize, and also stores a memory of the event to avoid it next time. For example, running away from a lion. So we focus on the threat, fuel our muscles to run away, and store a memory of that event, of that threat or danger for future reference. But even just the anticipation of a threat can trigger the fight or flight response as well. It's just that the body gets involved only if the stress is very severe, like the lion example. The body does not need to get involved if you get fired, for example, but that is still a stressful experience. So the brain, though, gets involved regardless of whether of the type of stress, even if you anticipate it, right? And the brain gets involved by focusing, and you become much more alert, and also you remember about that event, of that threat, for future reference. You keep on thinking about it as well. You clock it in, right? And this is important because we evolutionarily wanted to know if there's a lion or a saber-toothed cat. You want to know where is it, right, for future reference, because you're prey to it. So you want to kind of remember it, where is it, and kind of you want to store that memory to avoid it in the future. And the memory happens in the hippocampus, and then another structure called the prefrontal cortex, which is like the executive boss, governs what to do about that threatening event. The actual stress response is triggered by the amygdala, which causes the release of hormones like norepinephrine and corticotrophin releasing hormone, which summon adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline and cortisol are two of the stress hormones that gets released, which allow us to act against the threat. Now, evolutionarily, the fight or flight response causes us to act against the threat. So it makes sense that physical exercise can reverse the negative effects of stress. See where I'm going with this? Evolutionarily speaking, that's what we've been doing for millions of years as Homo sapiens, right? The fight or flight stress response causes us to act, run away, like evolutionarily, right? That's what it was. And therefore, if we run away or just exercise, right? We don't even have to run super fast, sprint away, just by moving our body, we can actually reverse the effect of stress. We can actually have our muscles loosening and actually feel better as a result. And this is the beautiful thing after going for a jog, for example. So stress is a change to the body's equilibrium, like exercise is. Exercise is a stress, right? Learning new languages. I'm learning French right now, right? Exercising and even feeling negative emotions, like fear, for example, or being scared of something, right? All cause neuronal activity, because emotions actually cause neuronal activity as well, right? So all of these things, like exercise, learning new languages, or learning anything, learning a dance move, all of these cause neuronal activity. Your neurons fire, which causes demands on the brain, because the process of burning fuel to generate energy causes wear and tear on the cell. Getting up from the chair involves the coordination of movement, which causes you to, causes the brain to burn energy, right? It needs to get that fuel, so it's going to burn the fuel, and the process of burning fuel generates wear and tear on the cell. But what happens is, as the cells, as the neurons recover, they overcompensate and they actually become stronger against future demands. There was a study in the 1980 which showed that stress, right, in the form of radiation, where participants were tracked for 8 years, from 1980 to 1988, showed that small doses actually made participants stronger, and than those that were not, than their counterparts that were not exposed to any radiation whatsoever. So the toxins actually made the workers in the study, they were shipyard workers, made the workers in the study stronger. They actually had a longer lifespan as a result. I think they had a lower mortality rate by 24%. But that study didn't get published because, well, that's not the result that they expected. They expected that radiation would make them live less. So why these results don't agree with what we expected? Well, it's because small amount of radiation is actually helpful to your body. It's called hormesis, actually. And it's the same with exercise. In limited doses, it causes brain cells to overcompensate via proper recovery and be better able to face future challenges. And we call this inoculations. That's how vaccines work as well. And this sparks brain growth and leads to stronger connections, which allows us to grow and learn better. So the body and mind adapt simply by putting a stress on the body, by exercise, by getting physical movement. So get that exercise, put a bit of stress on your body, and get all the benefits of hormesis.